Paces, we were a community mental health agency. We worked with kids from ages 3 to 22 in their homeschool and community settings. The programming was flexible, which was great because we got to kind of meet the kids where they were. Again, if that was at home or in school in the community. And Wyandotte Center or Wyandotte County was a pretty under-resourced community, so having places to go in the community besides honestly McDonald's and the library was essential for us. And once I found out there were orchards with food-bearing trees, I just kind of went wild for it and would try to take the kids there. And it was so cool to show the kids something in their own literal neighborhood and something that they could interact with. And so it was part of kind of our holistic approach to meeting the kids in the environment they were in. I talk a lot about how, you know, the mental health field, as much as I'm a proponent of it, I'm in it, right, is relatively new. Healing has been around since humans have been around, and we have inherent sources of wisdom and access to resources, and one of those is nature. You know, like music, movement, faith, community, service to others, and nature are just they just hit a part of us that nothing else can quite access. And so I always encourage that for kind of a full spectrum healing experience. We talk a lot about being nature connected in all the trauma work that I do. I think watching some of the kids that were maybe a little rough and tumble. Again, a lot of these kids had significant behavioral or emotional challenges. So I worked with one little human that was pretty aggressive. And so getting a chance to take him out to the orchard and talk about how to be gentle with the leaves and the plants and how we're picking things and watching stems and stuff was just really amazing to see how tender he could be when he had been treated so differently kind of in his life. A couple other things that were really important to the experience there was being able to practice mindfulness with the kids. We got to go sit in this kind of peaceful, protected green space and just practice breathing and practice sensory grounding and like feeling the earth and smelling the grass or the soil or the leaves and smelling the trees and tasting the fruit or the berries if it was available. And it was just this kind of full immersion sensory experience for kids that were kind of constantly overstimulated. So getting a chance to strip it down and just focus on one sense at a time in a place that was like actively giving back to them was really, really enormous, really enormous. And again, kind of giving them the chance to be a steward of their own environment was just huge to watch them find some power. Yeah. Oh, and it also taught them about, like, it was such a great conduit to talk about healthy eating and fresh fruit and veggies and produce and being responsible for like what you put in your body. It really lended to a totally holistic approach. We got to not just talk about what was difficult in their life or mental health concerns or diagnosis or treatments. We got to talk about their activity and their breathing and their sleep and their eating. And the Giving Grove was a great way to pull all that into conversations with the kids and some teaching. People have been finding healing through and within nature for as long as we have existed on this planet, and we would be remiss not to tap into this or be intentional about our access and engagement. It's not just soothing for anxiety or helpful with mood elevation and depression, it's a deep source of healing. We experience so many human problems, traumas, and tragedies with our human experience that tapping into the natural world can be a way to reconnect with ourselves and get grounded to life all around us. Sometimes connecting with humans can be difficult and have its own challenges, but there are often living systems in place that we can engage and interact with and learn from.